Hello everybody, Floppy Hat Photos back here again for another episode of my Be Positive van, and today's video is about the van, but it's actually in the house here, and I'm talking about my new Dometic. I've got the CFX65DZ, and it is the 12 volt refrigerator freezer combo unit, and right now it's been running for I'd say about 10 minutes probably. I got the timer set so I'll know exactly, but the timer is actually the camera I'm filming with. So what I'm going to show you here is that right there is actually the unit, and at the moment it is currently plugged in to the wall with 110. They say to let it drop down and cool at the 110, so I cannot give you any updates and results on the actual 12 volt power yet, but I will hook that up in my van for my trip I'm hoping to leave on tomorrow. So I wanted to test it out on the 110 powering. This is the unit. It actually says 55 degrees. I'm not going to open it up right now because I want to see exactly how long it takes to get down to temp while it's plugged in here with it shut. So I do have two separate thermometers out there, and the reason I have two is one of them is in the freezer part, one of them is in the refrigerator part, and it was inside outside were virtually identical temperatures. You can see they were 0.4 degrees off each other when they were sitting up on the shelf. The door was open on this all night long, so the cooler is the exact same temperature in the house. And as you can see right now, the humidity range is going to be on the outside units also here. Inside we have 55.5 or 54.5, sorry, and 67.1. Again, the one on the right is actually the cooler side. Then you can notice with the freezer fridge, there's actually a small compartment here that's only about halfway above the compressor. Then you have the whole cooler, and the whole cooler part is actually separated out. There is no divider. I've taken out the trays and I've taken out that wall that supposedly claims it makes one part freezer, one part refrigerator, and then one part like warmer tray, and I've got the whole thing opened up. And as you can see here, this is the actual unit. I'm sure all you guys can find all the information online. Not really a big deal. I will hopefully put a link in here to where I bought this, which was off Amazon, and you can tell it's just a portable refrigerator freezer. I'm not going to read all the information. It's 2.1 cubic feet. It's actually pretty good size. I was really impressed with how big it was. It's not gigantic by any means, but it's not small. I'm perfectly pleased with the size of this thing. I definitely got to figure out what size I want to put in there, because my plan with it is, if it goes as I hope, which I don't know how it's going to go, my hope is to, I love frozen water, I love frozen tea, I love all that kind of stuff. So I want that stuff frozen as long as possible. That way it stays cold throughout the day when I'm drinking on it. So my plan is to have a few bottles that I'm going to drop in here, freeze up overnight, and then in the morning I'm going to put them on my day cooler, which is what I used in between my seats or when I'm out driving around. If I go on a trip, I take my little small cooler with me, and my goal is to take the ones that are in there and put them back in the freezer. So they freeze all day long. That night I basically swap out and back and forth, and I'm hoping they'll give them about 12 hours a piece, and my goal is to have them freeze within 12 hours and then have the rotating factor. So basically the cold stuff in my regular refrigerator, my regular cooler, is going to be stayed cold by the freezing of the bottles. This thing's going to do all the work. So this thing will be working a lot harder than a normal one would. Most people throw in some, tater tots or whatever they want and leave it in there the whole time frozen. So I'm going to make mine work a little harder, but that's my goal, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, and right now we are down to 48 degrees according to the actually let's see that here. According to the cooler, it says we're at 46 degrees, and according to the actual thermometer says we're at 50. So it's one of these two is off. I don't know which one. It could be, I don't know. It could be the fact this one here is taking a little bit longer to cool down because it is dropping quickly. So it could very easily, I just said 49.6 right now. So I figure like I said, I got two separate thermometers in there. I'll probably move them around as time goes on, but I'm trying to see how long it takes me to get down. And this has been a 4-minute video, and it was about 8.5 minutes in when I started it. So we're now about 13 minutes in. I've already dropped down to 49 degrees minimum, 44 degrees according to the freezer. So I'm not sure where it's like the actual freezer unit itself. I'm not sure what its temp gauge is at. So that'll make a big difference, because the thermometer, actually I'm going to go ahead and open this up just once to show you guys here. I've got the one in here, and then I've got one just dropped right down here in the bottom. So that gives you an idea. And oh yeah, you can definitely feel it's getting cooler in there. So yeah, that's basically the look of it. I want to see if it gets down to the temps and see how low it gets. And let's see, actually here, I gotta do this. We're set at -8 right now, so that gives you an idea of where I'm set at. I am set also on Fahrenheit clearly, and then -8. So that's as cold as it goes. I just kind of want to see how quick it would get down and how fast and how low it actually gets. Normally I'll probably run it about 0. That's probably where I'll run it. 0 should be plenty to freeze my stuff. So anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and whatever you do, make sure you stay positive.